Hi, I'm Bonnie Koba. I'm the Arts and Education Manager at the Connecticut Office of the Arts and the Director of Connecticut Higher Order Thinking Schools, or Hot Schools program. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about Hot Schools and the importance of arts in education. Connecticut Hot Schools started about in the mid-90s, 1994, with 6 pilot schools as a whole school reform model. It has grown and developed and responded to the changing needs of education for over 22 years. And the program that is a model today is really a labor of love of teachers and principals and artists and parents and consultants who have a passion for arts learning, who understand that arts learning really is a pathway into the minds and hearts of children. They understand that arts learning is a way to engage students, to help them feel motivated about their learning. And they're committed to finding ways to make that happen, regardless of whether the educational initiative of the day is No Child Left Behind, scientific research-based intervention, Common Core state standards. Whatever that initiative is, Hot Schools works because it just makes sense. It's just good practical teaching and learning. We operate on 3 core components called Strong Arts, Arts Integration, and Democratic Practice. Strong Arts are really about the quality of the arts teachers and the arts programming that happens in the school on a regular basis. Arts Integration is how you take the skill sets of those teachers and you take outside resources as well, and you take non-arts classroom teachers and you combine the needs and talents of those teachers to develop instructional practice that supports arts integrated teaching. For instance, I'm going to talk a little bit about we call teacher-artist collaborations, because we bring an artist, professional artist, to 2 days of planning with classroom teachers, sometimes arts teachers, sometimes not arts teachers, sometimes a mix, to develop integrated units of study. And one that I like to talk about is a 5th grade that was studying Egypt and Egyptian culture. And so they brought in a theater artist who is an expert at shadow puppetry. And as the students were studying Egypt, they each became a character in Egyptian time, a specific part of Egyptian history. They studied what it was like to live in that time, what the culture was like in that time, what the schools were like in that time in Egypt. And they actually became those characters themselves, wrote scripts. They performed those scripts through shadow puppetry, and in the process of shadow puppetry, the science teacher was also part of this project and said, you know, I'm having a really hard time having kids get that abstract concept of the reflection and refraction of light. It's just an abstract concept and it's really hard for the kids to get it. It's hard for me to teach it. Shadow puppetry was a perfect vehicle to do exactly that. So now you have Egyptian culture, you have social studies, you have science, making an abstract concept concrete through shadow puppetry. You have theater, you have narrative writing. So you can see that there were lots of different academic areas that were addressed through that. If you add up the recommended amount of time on subject per day, there's not enough time in a day for teachers to teach what they need to teach. I really feel the most important thing teachers can do is learn how to collaborate with one another and use one another's strengths to build instructional practice and units that really support student learning, that help students be connected to their learning. That's what Hot Schools does. So that's arts integration. And a third component that I really believe sets Hot Schools apart from other arts whole school reform initiatives across the country is the democratic practice component. And so we look at what shared leadership looks like, and not the shared leadership that we heard one administrator say many years ago, oh, we do shared leadership in my school. I make a decision and share it with folks. We're talking about opportunities for choice, voice, participation, and responsibility at every level. So from students to teachers to administrators to parents, we're looking at what the whole school community looks like and how a school is able to provide opportunities. When we first start talking about this, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, this is going to be complete chaos in a school. It's absolutely not chaos. We find that the more opportunities students have to make decisions in their day, make choices about their day, the more responsible they are about managing those decisions and about managing their own learning. We look at teacher as a guide on the side rather than a sage on the stage. So how can teachers support the learning process? How can they set up classrooms that are inviting, that are engaging, the kids want to come to every day? We have results from hot schools that show that when an artist is in the building, students are more likely to come to school. Schools that fully engage in hot practices show that attendance goes up for both students and for teachers. We show that students are more likely to advance from one grade level to the next. There's just all kinds of research out there, not just from hot schools, but from studies, a growing body of research across the country that really shows the arts are good for kids in so many different ways. So those are the three core components: strong arts, arts integration, and democratic practice. And how we do it in hot schools is that we have become, over time, what I call a mean, lean professional development machine. And so we have a week-long residential conference called the Hot School Summer Institute that draws folks from all over the country every summer for a week. It's teachers will refer to it as summer camp for teachers. And we bring in exceptional professionals from all over the country to present, to conduct in-depth workshops, to conduct sequential learning opportunities. So there's really a wide variety of performance and sort of talking heads and hands-on experiential learning for teachers themselves. And we require that everybody we bring into the Institute provides an opportunity, provides something that teachers can take away and bring and apply immediately in their classrooms in the fall. And that's sort of the cream of the crop of our professional development. We take those aspects of teaching, those aspects of strategies, hot strategies, and we break those down so that throughout the year we follow up in hot schools with continued learning opportunities. Not everybody can come to a full summer institute. We do a mini institute, a 2 or 3 day, depending on what the teachers are asking for at that time, in the fall every year. Sometimes we do another one in the spring. We do 1 day learning trainings that are really open to folks statewide in Connecticut, generally at no cost. Sometimes they have to cover the cost of their own lunches. But the idea is that everything we do is about strong arts, arts integration, and democratic practice. It's about giving teachers practical strategies and tools to build a toolkit so when they get in that classroom, they have 27, hopefully not more than that, but often 30, 35 learners in their classroom who have different ways of understanding. Multiple intelligence theory is an underlining theoretical foundation of hot schools. We look at how we engage students through kinesthetic learning, students who are visual learners, students who are musical learners. Not everybody can be successful when all learning is directed at folks who learn through reading and math, or writing and math. And so we find lots of different ways to get at that reading and math through the arts. At the end of the day, we need to be able to give kids opportunities to learn, to be engaged in their learning, to feel excited and motivated to come to school. And we need to do that for teachers as well. If teachers are not excited and motivated, their students won't be either. The arts really give us many, many tools and many pathways into the learning process. We know once we get kids in, the arts can be that hook that keeps them there, that keeps them engaged and keeps them coming back. Hot School Strategies and Approach is a way of building those folks who are going to be making decisions for us in a few years from now. It builds imaginative minds, the Imagineers, the creators, the doers, the thinkers, the problem solvers. This is through strong arts, arts integration, and democratic practice. Hot Schools is really good at doing that.